Okay, so now that we've got our messaging, we got our method, we understand how to communicate with people, now we have to learn how to actually close them slash get them to become our actual patients or our clients. So this is when I get to talk about sales. I really enjoy talking about sales because sales to me is just helping people. That's all it is. Even if people want to perceive you as salesy or oh my they're scared of you because you like sales or whatever it may be or oh my god, heaven forbid you even talk to them because they think you're going to sell them something. They immediately think they're going to try to you're going to try to get them, you know? And I get that because there are people out there these days that do get people. But we got into health and the health space because we absolutely love helping people. I think that's truly from our heart that we love helping people. And so you got to remember that I'm not trying to sell anyone on anything. I'm really not. I'm not trying to sell anyone on anything. I know my products are so freaking good that it can change people's lives. And I need y'all to believe that. I need you to believe that if they don't have your product or your service, that you cannot change their life. Like, this is real talk. And if you don't believe that, then maybe you shouldn't be a business owner. I need you to believe deep down so heavily that you are the only person to solve their problem. I know in the health space, I'm one of the very few that has grown multi seven-figure businesses, had a brick and mortar, had an exit, grown online 7 figures. I can tell you I've done a lot in a short period of time. And a lot of some of these other coaches have not done that and they're calling themselves coaches. But they haven't had all the levels that, and I'm sure there's even more, right? I haven't gotten to like, 10, 20 million. Like I haven't done that. So I'm sure there's even more levels to this. And I say this all because the more that you climb, the more you're never going to not have problems. You're never not going to solve everything. There's just different levels to the game. And I think this is why it makes me very qualified to be your coach because I was you. I had money belief issues. I grew up very poor. I grew up with a single mom, 3 kids. She passed out the dollar bills, the fake dollar bills from the Monopoly game. I remember when I was probably, I don't know, in high school at some point, sitting at the dining room table, and she was like, I don't have enough to pay for your cheerleading uniform. I remember this. This is the driver of why I do this. Okay? This is literally the driver of why I do it. Because I don't want people to suffer like I had to go through in my childhood when, your parents worked so hard. My mom worked so hard. She scrubbed toilets at Chick-fil-A. She was a teacher. She worked 4 jobs. She worked at my gymnastics gym just to be able to afford, the gymnastics because she couldn't pay it. She worked 4 jobs ever since, I don't know, since I was like 5 years old. So it just was amazing to see what she can do. But I also realized this is what drives me. It's my passion because I don't want people to have to go through that. And then when I got out of medical school, I had so much student loan debt. I had $230,000 student loan debt. Well, you know how much I came out making? $62,000. So how could we ever pay that debt off? And by the way, I graduated when the recession hit. So it was at 10% interest rate, like the massive recession, it was going to take me, I think it was going to take me 21 to 25 years, I think, to pay it off with insane amount of interest attached to that. And within 1 year starting my company, I paid off $150,000 of it. It's just insane. It's life-changing. But y'all have to be good at selling, aka helping people and showing them that you're the only person and that you're it. That's why I told you about the method, because the method is going to prove to them that you're the person to solve the problem. Rather than just saying, I can help. I think I've helped a couple people. Okay, don't do that. Okay? And so today, I'm really going to go in. First off, I have to change your money belief issues because most of us have money belief issues because school taught us just help, help, help. And no one taught us about money. Okay? So I'm here to really help coach you through how to get over that money belief and how to know that it's okay to give a service and receive pay for that. The money does not belong to you, because then you use the money to reinvest in coaching, or you reinvest in employees, or you reinvest in another course, or you reinvest in something else. The money doesn't belong. So I'm not taking anything. Taking something from someone would be like if I told them I promised them this one thing and then I never gave it to them. That's taking. You're not taking, you're solving a big life problem for them, a massive life. Health is the greatest wealth. We know that. A massive life problem. And in return, you're getting paid because the reward that you're giving, or the outcome that you are getting to that person. That's it. You're not taking anyone's money. And a lot of y'all undercharge your worth. So that's a whole nother topic. But you'll need to be at least over 200 a visit to really make a practice, whether or not you're online or in person, actually work effectively. We've coached over 400 practices so far, online, hybrid, and in person. And I'm telling you, it has to be over 200. Small towns, big towns, large towns, before you give me any of those objections, I will handle it right now. All towns. Okay, the smallest town in Texas we worked in, the smallest corner of upstate Washington we work with, and they're, hitting 7 figures. So you can tell me a small town all day long, but I have proof that for my clients that it's actually not about the town. It's about belief, and do you actually have a system that makes you unique to truly help and solve people's problems? That's it. So that's the first thing I have to say. The second thing I want to go over quickly here is people call now. So people are calling because now you got out, you got attention. Now people are calling you, okay, over the phone. They're like, you know what? I'm not going to book because of price. Indirectly, what they're telling you is, I'm not convinced that this session that I'm going to have with you is going to be worth it. And so they're scared that they're going to waste money. That's it. And I'm going to tell you the reframes to this. So number one, to solve that solution, is you could do a money back guarantee on your first session with us. If you are not immediately satisfied after your first session with us, like right after, and so what we would do is ask them, hey, how was that? Are you satisfied? And if they say no, 100% will give you your money back. No questions asked. But they cannot go home and sit on the toilet and think for 5 hours and then call us and say, I want my money back. No. Right after the session, how do they feel? If they don't feel great and amazing and have a clear path, then no problem. We'll give them their money back. Okay? That's how you handle that one. After an eval, so they come in, maybe you do their first session with you, and they're like, oh, I can't afford to book out anymore. I can't afford it. They're basically saying, I want this result, but the size of the commitment is risky and scary. Okay? That's true. Maybe they come in for their first session, but they won't book out. Like they will not book out. They're not sold yet that it's urgent enough. So that could be the key. Maybe it's not urgent enough. Maybe it's like on the scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 5. And so if it's a 5, they're not going to move as quick. Compared to if it's like an 8, they're like, oh my God, I got to get this problem solved. Yes, 100%. Book me out. Like, I'm ready. Okay. Or that the plan is not as clear as they need it to be to make that commitment. You may have to lay out that plan clearer. The next thing I do is, or the next thing they may say is, I want to check with my added network benefits. So some of us, or most of us on here, are cash. And a lot of us provide some kind of added network benefits. And basically what they're saying is, I hope that insurance will make this cheaper, and I don't want to decide just yet. And here's what you have to get them to understand. How you negate this one is, let me ask you this. Do you want symptom management, or do you actually want your problem solved? Well, yeah, I want the whole thing to be resolved. Okay. Well, if you want the whole thing to be resolved, then this is the actual place, because we have a unique method that specifically solves this exact problem. I'm just going to let you know up front, if you go somewhere else, which you can, I'm just going to tell you that they're just going to do symptom management, your problem might feel like it's getting resolved, but they're not going to get you back to the end result, which is blank, and you say their deep why. Okay, that's huge. And their deep why is not solving leakage, is not solving their back pain. Their deep why is, I want to be able to connect with my husband. I want to be able to go back to the gym so I can lose weight. Their deep why is, I want to be able to walk again so I can play with my kids. Their deep why is, I want to get rid of all this hormone stuff so that I feel like myself again and actually can have my life back again. These are all things that they say. That's their deep why, not getting rid of the hot flashes at night. The deep why is, I need to feel that I am in control of my life again. Okay? Because when I feel in control of my life, then I feel like I'm unstoppable and I can do all the things that I want. So that's key. Okay? The other thing they might give you is, my schedule is so busy, I don't have time. Well, guess how you negate that? Teletherapy, condense the outcome, do self-paced courses, all that you can overcome with time. Okay? So these are just, I wanted to just quickly, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but it's just what I want to give you quickly to kind of help negate on the biggest things that you're going to get. It's going to be time, it's going to be money, and husband objection, and insurance objection. Those are going to be the 4 things that basically they're going to come at you with. And you have to keep continuously practicing, which is why we gave you guys our digital mind, which you can practice these objection handlings with our actual digital mind. So all you do is say, hey, PelviBiz, I need to practice objection handling. What happens if someone says I have to talk to my husband? And then it will tell you what to say. Like, it will give you immediate feedback. It's like I'm there with you. It is my voice. I program the thing. It is all the things. It has all of our scripts. It has everything. It's a freaking amazing. Okay. But that's where you really use my digital mind. Now you can use it for treatments. You can use it for anything and everything. Everything I've learned like over the last 8 years is in that app, just so you know. But it really, where I see it really shining and helping you guys is having a buddy to practice with how to handle objections. So you're going to ask it, hey, what happens when someone says, I have to speak to my husband? So this is what I do when they say that to me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got to speak to my husband before I make this commitment. Okay, let me ask you this. Let's just pretend for a second. Let's role reverse. If your husband was on the phone with me right now and he had back pain or he had hormone issues, would you physically and mentally support him? Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so, yeah. Okay, well, why would you support him? Well, I would support him because I know he has to be around for our kids because he watches them half the day, and I need him to be able to lift and carry things around the house. So I really would support him because it would help us around the house. Okay, so let's roll reverse that back. Then do you think your husband would support you financially and mentally as well in the things that you're going through right now? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, well, why do you believe he would do that? Well, he would do that because he wants me to feel better and he wants me to be able to like play with the kids and not feel like that I can't do that. Okay. So then don't you think today that we should go ahead and book this so that you can go ahead and start being able to play with your kids, feel like yourself again, feel more confident? You know what? I guess you're right. Okay. Go ahead and book that. Guys, that's how that goes with husband objection. Let's go over time objection. Yeah, so I don't have enough time. What did the lady say? Like, I don't have enough time for this. Okay, I hear you. Some of our patients actually say this to us, which is why we have options. Option number 1, we can actually do teletherapy or telehealth, where we meet you over the Zoom and we can actually go through every single thing we need to do over a Zoom call. That's going to save you drive time and time coming and going. How does that sound? Well, it's still like, I still have to like do this like once a week and it just seems like a lot. Okay, no problem. Well, we have another option, which is a self-paced course that you can do when you have the time. I recommend that you at least have some kind of guidance and come in, but if time is really a constraint for you, then we can do a self-paced course that you can do at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night when you have time, because I know you're a busy mom, you have a very busy schedule, and it's going to get you the results because it has our unique method built into it. Does that sound good? Okay, yeah, that might sound good. Okay, how much is it? Okay, well, let me know. Let me ask you this. Would you like to pay in 3 installments or would you like to pay in full? Well, like how much is it? Oh, okay, yeah. I'm making these numbers up. It's 1,500 up front, or break that down into 3 payments. Which one would you prefer? I'll do the 3 payments. Okay, cool. I'll send that over right now and you can go ahead and get started. And then, we'll check in a week from now to make sure that you're in and everything is good and you feel confident in the program. Does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, cool. And we move on from there. The next thing, so what did I say? Insurance. Insurance versus cash is always about symptom management versus symptom resolution. So when I position this, that's no problem, Sally. You can go ahead and call your insurance. However, I'm just going to let you know that people come to us for a reason because we have a very unique method that specifically handles your specific issue. And we actually get the results because of our 3-stage method. Comparatively, if you go and use insurance, there's symptom management, which means you're going to have to go multiple times a week. So it's going to cost you more time. It will be more co-pays typically up front. And the results are not as evident because they're only getting you to symptom management. They're not actually able to get you back to your goal. And this is when you have to differentiate between providers, guys. In therapy land, I don't know if you guys know this, but if we are seeing a patient underneath insurance, we can only treat one condition at a time. If we are seeing a patient cash, we can treat their neck one day and we can treat their toe the same day. But if you are insurance model, you can only treat someone's toe and you have to see them all the way through till that toe gets better and then you can treat their neck. You cannot go back and forth. So that's also something that you can say, not only are we treating that, because by the way, everything's connected, their nervous system, their diet, their inflammation, their hormones, all of that. And so in a cash-based model, we can connect all the dots and refer out. In an insurance-based model, it's only that thing that they say or refer to, and that's the only thing that you can treat. So, again, just really simplifying that though, don't over explain. So just say what I said. Basically, symptom management versus actually getting a resolution. So all I say to this is, let me ask you this. Do you want to get these symptoms resolved, or do you want to do symptom management? So do you want to get these symptoms resolved, or you want to do symptom management? What do you think they're going to pick? Yeah, I'm calling because I want to get it freaking resolved. Okay. Well, then I can let you know that our specific method is going to do that. Somewhere else is not. So if you want to waste time, effort, money, and energy, you can, but more than likely you will be calling us back because a lot of people do that because they realize that they're not making the progress that they want. And at that point, they might say, you know what? Go ahead and just schedule me. And then they schedule. Okay. So, but I need you guys practicing this. You see how confident I am when I speak. Now, mind you, I've been doing this for years, but this is what you can practice with our digital mind through that app. Okay. If you download it, it's at the first when you sign in. You can get it there and practice this because it is going to be key for you to actually get clients onto your schedule. Okay. And yeah, so that is the basis of how I actually handle objections and make sure that we are getting patients, we're helping patients out. That's really what it comes down to. And remember this last thing. People pay for what they want. So don't judge a book by its cover. If a college student comes in and they say they got no money, but they might have parents that can help them out. Don't judge them. Book them out for what you think that they need to get the actual result, period. We book them out for 12 sessions on the very first visit. So they come in, we get them over the phone, they come in, The first visit, I explain the method. It's 12 to 13 sessions, and they don't have to buy into a package then, but I am booking them all the way through their sessions immediately on the first day so that they are committed to their plan of care. Now, yes, they could call us and cancel and move things around, sure, but at least it's on the schedule, guaranteeing that they're going to get their spot that they want, the time that they want, and that they're going to get the results because they're consistent. Consistency is key. We know that. So just remember that.